What's going on, you guys? It's the Michael Myers. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, I'm gonna be giving you guys a double feature review, and those are the two Strangers movies. So yeah, I decided to go over these movies before the new one comes out. I think it comes out next week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, man, I definitely can't wait for the new movies. I believe it's gonna be a trilogy, so I definitely had to rewatch these. It's been a while since I've seen them, so I think I've only seen them once, but it was definitely quite some time ago. So of course we have the 2008, the very first Strangers. To start it off, I want to say I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to like home invasion movies. I think this is definitely one of the highlights when it comes to that genre. And it's not really the typical home invasion movie, which I think worked really well. And I think it really gained a nice cult following, a nice fan base. Honestly, I'll probably give it a 7 out of 10. I also really do like the, old school method. I believe the director kind of was inspired, you could say, like by some 70s thrillers movies. And you could definitely tell. Of course, we can't forget about The Strangers, man. I think the designs, the masks, pretty creepy. I actually had to change filming location, but it's all good. But back to what I was saying, man. When it comes down to it, this is definitely one of my favorites when it comes to the genre. The main characters, they did a solid job, honestly. I like the fact that there's storyline behind them, kind of builds up the movie. Of course, you got Liv Tyler. She's really good looking. I've always loved her. But of course, the acting overall, definitely could have been better. Like Scott Speedman, who does play the husband, not the husband, but the boyfriend, didn't really care for his character. Like I will say in these Strangers movies, and I'm pretty sure in the ones that are coming out, the main characters, they do dumb decisions. It's one of those type of movies. So, like I said, they are likable. It builds up, the downfall to the relationship, of course, you could say in the beginning of the movie. So you could say you could kind of feel for them. The main things, the main highlights to the first Strangers movie, I will say, is like some of the suspense, the old school routine they took on this movie. Like, for example, at the end of the movie, when they kill, of course, our main characters, it's not on screen. They do film certain shots outside, and I think it's a pretty good directed movie. If I'm not mistaken, this was the director's debut. Yeah, definitely got to give it up, man. The Strangers, like I said, it's one of my favorites when it comes to the genre, and I think they did a pretty good job. So yeah, I will give this a 7 out of 10. That's the 2008 Strangers. Then we move on to 10 years later, The Strangers Prey at Night. You could say this was kind of long awaited, guys. Like I said, 10 years after, usually, when a sequel takes some time, it's pretty long awaited. It's pretty much long anticipated. If you ask me, I still think this should have been its own movie. If this never got a sequel, it would have been the perfect movie. But of course, man, the fan base grew, and they definitely had to hit us back with a sequel, man. And I think that's why we're getting a whole trilogy now. If you ask me, a trilogy kind of sounds a little far-fetched. Sounds like, it could be rushed, especially, supposedly the trilogy supposed to come out, before the end of this year. But hey, we'll just have to see what happens. But this sequel, man, the 2018 Prey at Night sequel, not the biggest fan of it. I seen this once around the time it came out. Like I said, I just rewatched it last night. Didn't really care for it. Some of these characters, of course, it's a little bit more, like there's more going on in this movie. And of course, in the first one, it's Liv Tyler with the boyfriend, in the house or whatever. And this one, it's a whole family, and it's, it takes place outside and stuff like that, but there's some good things about this movie. Don't get me wrong. It was good seeing, of course, our strangers right here. One thing that you could say kind of caught me off guard, I wasn't a big fan how they kind of changed the look of the man in the mask. I don't know. I just think in the first one, he looked a little bit more like creepier. I feel the mask, the burlap mask, was a little bit more on the white side. I don't know. Definitely one thing that stood out to me from this movie were some of the kills as well. Of course, we get to see their iconic truck in the beginning of the movie and stuff like that. It does duplicate, some of those, first elements from the first movie. But still, man, there's some likable stuff in this movie. Another thing that stood out to me is that one kill scene, in the pool. The whole music playing in the background. Pretty good stuff in here. But like I said, I don't think it was a strong movie as the first one was. And this one, like I said, the characters were whatever. Like the main girl was all right, You could say she carried on the movie pretty good. And there's some parts in this movie where it kind of felt like, I know in the first one they also had a good chunk of music playing, but in this one I felt like they overdid it. It kind of felt like, especially towards the end, it kind of felt like a long music video. I don't know if it's just me, but yeah, The Strangers Prey at Night, honestly, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10, you guys. Overall, I wasn't really into it, to be honest with you guys, on my second time rewatching it. This one, you could say I kind of liked it more than the first time I watched it. Like I said, the first time I watched it, it didn't really stick on to me, wasn't as memorable, but now that I rewatched it, pretty damn good. I really liked it. I think it's better than I remember it. Don't get me wrong, like I said, the first one does have its issues. The last half of the movie feels like a long, you could say, chase sequence, kind of like a chase scene. I don't know. I just feel the third act was dragged out too much, a little slow paced and stuff like that. But that's why I gave it a 7 out of 10. It's not the greatest, but it's a good movie. It's a solid movie. The sequel, it's an okay movie. 6 out of 10. Like I said, there's some good stuff here and there. That's why I'm giving. I would have honestly gave it a 5, but I'll give it a solid 6. So yeah, man, that was my review on the first two Strangers movie. I can't wait for the new one, man. Like I said, I feel if this would have been its own movie, it would have been pretty good. I don't think it needed a sequel. And like I said, I definitely it's grown a fan base throughout the years. So for sure, a lot of people are looking forward to it, just like I am. And yeah, man, I definitely can't wait. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What you think about these two Strangers movies. Tell me what you think about the upcoming trilogy. Stay tuned for more videos. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's the Michael Myers signing out.